Hello, hey Robin.
Hi, Amanda.
And Katie, it's good to see you. Michelle, hey everybody. Welcome to day 4 of the Online Income Playbook Summit. Today we are going to talk about systems and scaling. And now Robin is here, and Robin is a funnel expert. So Robin, do you want to I'm going to just paste into the chat the links that you might need. And while I do that, Robin, if you could talk a little bit about funnels, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I am a Meta Ads and Funnels Pro. This is right up my alley. I'm so excited about being here, Amanda. So thank you so much for having me and also asking me to speak. I love this work and I love what you're doing with this summit,
Okay.
mainly because this has just changed my life. Building an online income has allowed me to escape that corporate rat race that everybody like kind of wants to get out of. And I know there's people that love their jobs, but jobs aren't always there forever. And so building something that you own alongside a job that you might also love or that could make help you escape a job that you don't actually love
Great.
is so empowering. So yeah, I was able to do that with um, really with funnels, really. And it's been since, gosh, I started my business in 2018. I went full time in business in 2020, right at the height of the pandemic. And it was this skill, the skill of digital marketing, of funnels, email marketing, automations, and all of the things that go into that that allowed me to be able to do that. So
Yeah.
really excited to share a bit about that with everyone that's here today.
Great. Great. So when for people who don't understand what a funnel is, so not everybody understands that. Now, if you watched your videos, I did a video on what is a funnel and like the easiest one, I think, personally, to set up for most people. If you came in, just a few housekeeping notes, those videos are in your emails that you got, your daily emails. You can watch the videos there. And if you came in through Facebook and you are not registered for the summit, in the chat, you can go ahead and register and you'll get today's videos. And then also, if you want lifetime access so that you can go back and watch this stuff again, so you can get the audio recordings, so you can listen while you're doing housework or something, go ahead and grab that. That's $47 right now. It will be 97. But so with that out of the way, let's get back to Robin. And can you
Yeah.
explain what a funnel is and what kind of automations and systems do you think people should be using first? Like what makes
Yeah.
sense as far as setting all this stuff up?
Yeah, that's such a great question. And starting from the beginning, I think for most people, especially if like funnels and marketing are just not your thing and it's not a part of where you come from, it can feel like everyone's speaking a different language around you. And I know this summit is full of experts. I've been following along, and some of the freebies, the tools, the advice, the training that has been shared so far has been, I mean, it's been a master class.
Yeah.
So I know that everyone will come away from this summit having learned so much. But when we're talking about like just getting started and what makes the most sense at the beginning, I think you were kind of leading there is like a lead funnel. The very first thing is the easiest thing to do is a lead funnel. And that's literally um, the idea of a funnel is just that at the very top, you get the most traffic, you get the most interest, people coming to look at the thing. And then as they convert or take an action, you get less and less people that end up taking the action that you're leading them to take, which is why it gets smaller and smaller at the bottom because everyone's not going to be interested in what it is that you have to offer. And so what a lead funnel is you have a piece of content, whether that be an ad or whether that's something that you published organically out into the interwebs, where you say, hey, download my free thing. This is going to help you do X, Y, and Z. Those who are interested will click on some kind of link or take some kind of action in order to go check out what it is that you're offering. And there you have what's called an opt-in, where you take their name and contact information. Now, the first place where people lose people is on that opt-in page, or that first step when they have to give you their contact information. And so in all the funnel analytics and measurements, we're always looking at the conversion rate, like how many people landed on that page versus how many people actually gave you their contact information. But those who actually converted, you do the math and you figure out what that conversion rate is on your landing page. And then you say, okay, we've got 20% of the people that are landing here, or 20% of the people who showed interest are converting and giving us their contact information. Now they've become a lead officially. And what you do with that lead from there on out is all a part of your funnel. And it's leading them toward a buyer's journey. It's leading them down the path of making a buying decision from there forward. There's a bunch of other things that you could do with that contact after that point. But in the most simplest terms, that is a lead funnel. And that's the best place to start.
Right, right. Now, how do you have things you recommend to increase the conversion for your opt-in page?
Yes, 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 yes. So, one thing that I always tell people, whether I'm consulting or I have like a client or I'm doing a discovery call, is to keep it super simple on your opt-in page. And I think sometimes we look at some of the gurus or some of the people that are everywhere online, and their opt-in pages are beautifully designed, and they've got all kinds of pictures and animations, and they've got graphics, and it just looks so stunning. But behind the scenes in the marketing world, what I've found is that it's actually the most simple opt-in pages that convert the highest,
Yeah,
because humans, we see things and we squirrel out. Like
yeah,
that, it's more common for you to get distracted when there's a lot of things to look at,
yeah,
because it's just one more second of you reading through and taking time, and here's a little bit about this and a little bit about that, and every second counts. So really it benefits you to keep it very, very simple. Headline, subheadline, maybe some bullet points about what they're going to get when they opt in, and then give them that form where they put in their name and email. That's it.
yeah. Yeah, I like to keep the button for the opt-in above the fold so that they see that without having to scroll. And I guess what you're describing and what I've noticed is a lot different than just a couple years ago. Like a couple years ago, everybody's funnel was this super long video. Like you would click on it and there'd be this huge video that would be like 30 minutes long that you would go through. And then you would, if you opted in, then you would get like an upsell immediately, and then another upsell, and then another upsell, and another upsell. Do you feel like maybe that type of funnel is getting out of date at this point, or is that something that can still work?
Absolutely. I do think that it is getting out of date, but also that it depends on your audience and your offer. So after you get the lead, there's all these different types of funnels that you could send people down. You've got a webinar funnel where that be a longer video for them to watch. You've got a video sales letter where that could be anywhere from 5 minutes to, I've seen, an hour or hour and a half on a video sales letter. Um, so there's all these different things that you can do with that lead, which would technically be a different type of funnel. Specifically, if it's something that's higher ticket, then it's expected that you would need to spend more time with that person, right? It's a little easier for me to ask you for $97 in like, with just a page and no video, than it would be for me to ask you for $5,000
Yeah.
and you haven't heard my voice, we haven't had a conversation. It's a little bit of a different sell. But what I am finding is in the age of TikTok,
Yeah.
whereas TikTok has significantly changed the landscape of social media marketing, particularly,
Mhm.
people's attention spans are way shorter these
Yes.
days.
Yes.
So I'm seeing the faster the transaction, the better.
Yeah.
And then, of course, if it's a higher ticket, then yeah, you will need to spend more time with them. But when we're in the beginning stages of growing our list and building an audience, it really benefits you to give people a quick win as fast as you can.
Yeah. Yeah. And to that also, I mentioned this in my video that I made. I really love um, funnels that convert buyers. So
Mm-hmm.
my legacy business, I sell doll repair supplies, dolls, instructions to repair dolls. That's been my 25-year business. And something that I often do is my average sale price is probably around $30, and I sell on multiple platforms. Well, you can't email people from these platforms. Like, you're not really allowed to collect their email. So to get their email, I have made a whole lot of free tutorials that I DM them after a purchase and say, hey, this shows you how to use this product you just got. And I have found that those leads are such good leads because they've already bought from me. So they already know, like, I'm not going to steal their money. I'm not going to, you know, they're not going to give me money and my product isn't going to appear. Um, so just something to keep in mind, like your lead magnet does not necessarily have to be free. You can use a lower ticket item to convert people in and place a funnel in there. I wish that there were a way on sales platforms to make that automated so that it would be a little bit easier, because it is much easier when this is working for you in the background. So do you want to talk about ways that you do set up automations that are working independent of you having to do everything yourself?
Yeah, and you make a great point, Amanda. For those that have physical products or even digital products, but that sell on other platforms, these other platforms, their main concern and the reason why they don't let you get their contact information is their main goal. They know that the value is in the list. They know the money's in the list, the money is in the data, it's in the contact information. And so that should give you a little bit of a hint, which you've already picked up, of course, as you've been in business for a long time. But for those who are just getting started, that should let you know that it's really, really important for you to build your list. That database is so valuable because they're going to continue to follow up with those people that bought from you. And they're going to be like, hey, since you liked Amanda's thing, why don't we show you this? What did you think about that? Or, they're going to be in that inbox. You already know I buy from all those platforms, Creative Market, Etsy, all of those. And they're constantly saying, hey, we got a new thing that's on sale. Look what's here for spring. The
Yeah.
only way that they're able to continue that conversation is in your inbox. And that is the foundation
Yeah.
for
And
why,
back to you. You don't want
yeah.
Etsy and eBay sending them to the billions of other people that are on Etsy and eBay. You want those people back in your store.
Right, right. And that's why it's so important for you to build your email list. And I think so many people skip that piece
Yes.
because it's just not highlighted. It's like email marketing is like not sexy. It's like this ongoing thing. It just represents like work, I think, to most people. And most people are really focusing on like getting the sale, but it's not just about getting the sale. It's about getting the contact information and then also building a relationship with someone over in their inbox. And so I share a little bit about that in my guide, Inbox Influence. I don't talk about what email marketing platform to use because I think everybody has one that they absolutely love for the most part, unless you aren't doing any email marketing at all, in which I recommend Flowdesk. I'm a Flowdesk partner
Yeah.
and stand. So I'm going to always forever stand for Flowdesk. But one of the tools for automation that I'm really, really loving right now, and I'm recommending that people use, especially if you use Meta, which I'm a Meta girly myself.
Uh-huh.
Of course, Meta has billions of users. Facebook and Instagram is just not, those are not the platforms to ignore. Like you want to be on there, they've got the buyers.
Right.
But to automate your content and your list growth, your lead growth, your sales, I'm really loving ManyChat right
Yeah.
now. And I mean, gosh, if you don't know what ManyChat is, I link to it in my freebie that I have for you guys. I also have a free 30-day trial of ManyChat Pro in that freebie. But basically,
Put those in the chat if you would. And
yeah.
then
Yep.
I'll also be able to distribute them on the speaker pages.
Yeah, it's on my website. So I will put the link to my site.
Okay.
And I switched it around on you, Amanda. I sent you an email. I was like, oh, she's gonna kill me. But I did switch it around. I switched it around on you. And I put it on my website. You can go to robynthebrilliant.com and go and grab this guide. It's called Inbox Influence. And
All
I
right.
just popped that into the chat as well.
Okay,
But
great.
I'm loving, oh, you're welcome. I'm loving this tool because from there you can, I know you guys have seen where people have like comment the word such and such and I'll send you, it's ManyChat that's sending links. But not only can you have it respond to comments, so it can comment you, it can respond and say, hey, I just DM'd you the link. Hey, it's on the way. There's like a way where you can message your new followers. When someone follows you, you can say, hey, thanks for giving me a follow. So and so. There's a way for you to continue the conversation in an automated way after they comment like the keyword. You can send them that. And if they don't click the link, ManyChat knows. And in 30 minutes, they'll send an automated follow up like, hey, just wanted to check in. Were you able to see? So there's ways that you can relationship build and create a little bit more engagement and connection in an automated way that doesn't feel like a robot. So that's one of my favorites. And then Flowdesk, like really, you could do
Your whole business.
sky's the limit. Yeah,
Yeah.
your whole business with just
You,
Flowdesk and
you
ManyChat.
could use Flowdesk and not have to have a website, not have to have a store. If you get the Flowdesk has tiers, so you can get a higher tier. I just upgraded to this like a few months ago, where
Me
you
too.
yeah, did you when they did their sale?
I
So
sure did.
when you can set up a checkout. So you can just take people straight from your form. And the forms are beautiful and they're so easy. Like, so if you're not great at tech, like I'm not great at tech, Flotus just makes it so easy to put these pop-up forms on your website, on your blog, and they pop up and they're their own little website with a little image and everything, and a little description. It looks very professional. And then you can take them right through an email sequence, through a checkout sequence, because you just link it to your Stripe account. So easy to set up, so intuitive. I love it, love it, love it, love it. Um,
Yes.
so Robin, what would you say? So the number one thing I hear all the time when I'm coaching people is I don't know what I would say to people in my email. Like, I don't know how to talk about this thing that I sell. So what do you say to people about that? Like how do you encourage people to build this relationship when they're not really sure what they should talk about?
You are right on the money. You're so dialed in. I'm laughing because I put that in my presentation word for word,
Yeah,
exactly what you said,
yeah,
because it's so common that people
yeah.
say, I don't know what to say. And I get that. It's like, okay, I know I need to talk to you, but like, what do I say? And that skill is copywriting. So, like in marketing, there's all these other jobs. You have graphic designer, you have copywriter, you have automation specialist, right? But as a solopreneur or small business owners, we have to wear all the hats. And so, you kind of just get to that juncture where you're like, okay, I know I need to have an email list. I know I need to talk to people about buying my thing. Now what?
Yeah.
And so I put some email templates in Inbox Influence to just start you off. If you don't currently have an email list because you don't know what to say, there's some templates in there. And then also there is a recommendation on when to segment your audience. So,
Mhm.
like what email you send right away, and then when do you create this segmentation where you separate out those who are opening and reading your emails from those who are not.
Yeah.
And that's really important too. But mainly, one of the first things that you want to do is storytell when you send your first email. You talk to people like you just met them at a networking event or in a coffee shop, and they say, "Oh, what do you do?"
Mhm.
That's how your email should flow. If you think about or role play what you would say if someone asked you what you did in a coffee shop or in a networking event or something like that, and you were going to tell them about your product or your service, if you think about how that conversation would go in your head, that's how the emails flow. And the first thing you want to, you tell someone, first thing is you usually, tell them your name, who you are, what you do. A lot of people ask you, where are you from? Do you have kids?
Mhm.
Those kinds of things. And so you'll find that some of the biggest marketers online are telling their story about who they are and how they came to offer their product.
Yeah.
What led them there, right?
Mhm.
It's a natural storytelling that is integrated in marketing in a way that's not super long because I'm one of those people, I'll ramble.
Mhm.
Not super long because people's attention spans are really short. You
Yeah.
have to say it in a really succinct way. And then also in that first email, as you introduce yourself briefly, maybe 1 to 2 sentences, and you talk about how it is that you came to offer what it is that you've offered them, talk about what it is that you're giving them and how that's going to help them.
Mhm.
um, that's one of the first things that you want to say,
Yeah.
right? Because all of us as service providers, or um, even if you have physical products
Right.
or digital products, we're all doing what we're doing because we have a passion for something and we want to help people in some kind of way. Like we're helping them reach their goal or achieve something that they're looking to do. Like for yourself with your doll repair business, I'm sure you absolutely love what you do. You wouldn't do it for 25 years if you didn't,
Yeah.
right? And there's other people who share that passion and need your help.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're talking to them about in the emails. It can be as natural as a conversation. There are a few best practices, which I put in the templates,
Great.
but it's 6 emails. And so usually within the first 6, you'll be able to tell who's engaged and who's not. It
Mhm.
doesn't, not everyone is going to buy within the first 6, but then from that data, you can tell, okay, I can tell who's listening and I can continue the conversation with those who are the most interested from there.
Yeah. Great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really being succinct and yet telling a story is kind of a delicate balance. And so there are a couple things you can do with that. You can have a little, and this is one of the reasons I love Flowdesk. They have these layouts where you can do like a little section with a graphic and everything that you basically tell your story in 1 or 2 sentences or a couple bullet points.
Yeah.
And then you can have that at the beginning of the email. And then you can have the longer section where you maybe want to tell more of a story afterward, but it gives them kind of the overview of what you're about to say very quickly so that if they're
And
scrolling away fast, they've still got the main thing. And one of the things I really personally love to do is write a blog post that I can say, here's this little introduction, and then, oh, if you click here, you can go read the rest of it on my blog if you're interested in this much longer post. And
Yeah.
to your point about talking like you're in a coffee shop and serving people, that's something too I want to touch on, because I think people feel icky about selling. And when that is happening, it's because you're not thinking of selling as a service. So no matter what you're selling, it is a service. So say you are selling, I don't know, prom dresses. Like, let's say your thing is plus size prom dresses. Well, the girl that buys your prom dress needs that dress. She wants to look beautiful. She wants to show up at her prom and have everybody be like, oh, wow, look at her when she makes her entrance. That is what you're solving for her. So you have to kind of reach down into yourself and think, what state is my customer in before they find me? Why are they looking for what I am selling? And when you think about why they're looking for what you're selling, think about those problems they're having. So, like, if you sell supplements that help people grow their hair is really thin. They feel bad about it. Maybe their hair is breaking really bad and they don't know what to do. You're solving that problem for them. So you always need to come into it with the remembrance that you are serving somebody no matter what you're selling. The reason that you're
Yes.
selling, like the reason it sells is because somebody needs that for some reason.
That's right. That's right. That's so, so, so powerful. That right there is what I think probably 99% of the like the new entrepreneurs, the new solopreneurs, the startups, that's what they need to really, really get and sit with and understand. And that takes a while.
Yeah,
It takes a while for people to feel comfortable with selling. They do approach it like they want to sell, but they do also at the same time feel icky about doing it. And so, like, undoing that mindset
yeah,
is the most powerful thing that you can do as early on in your business as possible. Once you get past that feeling,
yeah.
then you're able to open up this flow of sales, and you can enjoy the business that you're building.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And like you might think, well, I sell a lot of doll eyes. That's probably my number one seller. What am I doing with, doll eyes for people? Well, I'll tell you today, like just this morning, right before I got on here, I was talking with somebody I have a tool that I um, had made to help you stretch the doll's eye socket open so you can put eyes in easier. I have a little bit of arthritis in my hands, and
Mm-hmm.
a lady who recently had a stroke what she loves to do is buy American Girl dolls like at thrift stores and things and then redo them so they look new and donate them for children who can't afford an American Girl doll. So this is like
Oh,
a charity
wow.
she's running. And after
Yeah.
she had her stroke, she wasn't able to do the eye replacements anymore because of her hands losing strength. And so this tool, she was telling me how this tool has made it so she can do the eyes again. So now she can run her charity again. Like,
Wow.
I hear stuff like that all the time. I have a lot of people who have their daughter or their granddaughter, and they have this doll that was theirs when they were little, and they want to give it to their daughter or granddaughter, and it's all messed up because it was much loved over all the years. And so
Mm-hmm.
that too is a big, you know, it's very emotional for people to pass
Yeah.
this on, this thing that they love so much, to
Yeah.
bring that to the new generation. So you can absolutely find those reasons. And it gets a little easier as you have been in business longer. Like I have 4,000 positive reviews. So I've heard these stories for many, many years. But
Wow.
um, even when you're new, you need to be thinking about like those kinds of stories. What could whatever you are selling do for people in ways like that? Like really
Yeah.
get into broadening like your ideas about what you might be able to help people with, because that's where you can get into the real nitty-gritty of storytelling. Another thing I did
Yep.
when I was newer is just journey storytelling, which is like,
Mhm.
I'm trying this new thing. Here, I got this doll that I don't know how to fix, and this is what I'm trying. Like, these are the things I tried. And another thing I would do is just tell stories about what was going on at our house. Like, when our kids were little, I would say, oh, the baby's doing this today, my son's doing this. Like, just let people in, and you don't have to. I never said my children's names, I never put images of them online, but um, my blog was basically faceless. They never saw me either, but they felt like they knew me. They felt like they were in our family. And what's really funny is my daughter's 21 now, and we still occasionally get boxes of dolls in the mail that people mail to her. Like, they just feel like
Oh,
they
they
know
think, oh,
from this blog, just from like reading about her. So that's another really powerful thing you can do, is just talk about your family life, and not that you have to share every single thing. You can definitely protect your privacy, and also you don't only have to have a blog. There are lots of long form content platforms that you can, lots of formats that you can do long form content in to get people into your world as much as you want to share with them. But those are things you can do as well. So,
yeah. And oh, I
go-
was just gonna, real quick, I was just gonna say, if you're not super creative and not a writer at all, ChatGPT, Claude AI can help you with the ideation. And you
yeah,
may not want to copy them word for word because, I mean, like they can sound like AI, but they're really, really powerful for helping you with ideation. And so I tell people, ask ChatGPT if you just tell them, hey, I've got this email list I'm building. I want to send my email list a one email per week. And let's say you just have one product that you want to continue, right? You can say, I want to tell different stories about how this product, and you give it all the information about the product, how this product is helping me and helping other people with their lives. Give me 10 different storyline ideas and
yeah,
headlines or subject lines for the emails, right? ChatGPT will help you come up with ideas, and then you can have it expand on, okay, give me the framework, give me the outline of how that email would flow so I can tell that story. So you don't have to be a expert at storytelling or writing. We have these tools now that can help.
yeah.
So use them. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. And I also would like to say, you can ask, you'll get a little bit better response, like a less robotic sounding email, when you ask a question first. So if you say something like, in my niche, what is the best converting format for an email sequence? Like, ask it questions like that. Or if you're posting on Instagram, on Instagram in this niche, what are the posts that are working best right now? Things like that. Another thing I like to do is take screenshots of things that are really converting well, and ask it, why is this post converting so well? Like, so say it's a Pinterest pin that has like 100,000 comments on it or something. Why are these people all commenting? Like, take a picture of the post, take a picture of the comments, and ask it to tell you, not to copy it, but to understand, why is this thing working? And then you can say, okay, how can I apply that to me? Like, how can I use this format to make my thing go viral? That's something I really like to
That's a gem. That's a
do.
gem.
Now, do you have any more tips about automations for us today?
Yeah, I would just say don't over automate.
Yeah.
Automations can make your life so much easier, just in how people experience your brand in the very beginning. But I think it's important not to over automate everything that can be automated. Like, even with ManyChat, like where you can have automated conversations where you have your chatbot ask questions and have the person choose the answer. I think at a certain point, there should be some humanization built in where there's something that's high touch
Yeah.
in the customer journey. And it can be at scale. It doesn't have to be super manual. It can be something that's more personal, that's at scale. So, like what we're doing here today for the online income playbook, like having a live streamed series and inviting people into the Zoom room where they can pop questions to you in the chat.
Right.
That's something that's like you can build this personal relationship with people where you've shown up live, right? It's at scale because if you had, 1,000 people on your email list and, a 50 to 100 showed up live with you, right? That's way easier and faster than you trying to have 50 to 100 individual conversations. And
Yeah.
what are the odds that people would even be available at the same time that you're available? Likely not to happen, but you've made it so that you are available to have live conversations with whoever can show up at the time. You're recording these, so if they missed it this day, they
Yeah.
can come back and catch the replay and feel like they are immersed in your world, your story, and we're right there with you in the moment because you're live and on camera. So those are ways that you can weave in some personal touches, some relationship building that doesn't feel so AI driven. And I think a lot of people, a lot of brands are trying to implement AI in order to save time and money, but you will stand out when you weave in personal touches where you actually make yourself appear human and present.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be the secret sauce going forward.
Yeah.
Um, from now on is like who actually makes someone feel like they're connected to them in a way.
Yeah, I agree totally. I I just did a video on this the other day for my YouTube series on all these companies that are automating their customer service and
Mhm.
with these robots, and it is a nightmare. And that like would be the number one thing I would say, do not automate your customer service. At least hire somebody so there's an actual person. And speaking of, we're having this long conversation. You guys who are watching can certainly chime in. Like if you have any questions for Robyn or for me, put them in the chat. Anything you want to say, put it in the chat. We're here, we're live, we can respond. I mean, that's the value of getting on live rather than just watching the automations.
Yeah.
And you do need some, like it saved my life last year. I had my summit last year and I actually ended up in the hospital it was a 2 week summit. I was in the hospital the whole second week. And
Oh,
it was crazy. I had to have a biopsy um the week, it was like 2 or 3 days before the summit started. And it was negative, it was fine, but it turned out they had nicked a blood vessel and it was not known to anybody. So for 10 days I was walking around bleeding internally and totally crashed out at my son's high school open house. So, you know, great for to humiliate my child and embarrass him at high school. And so then I had to have emergency surgery to clamp the blood vessel. I had to have a blood transfusion. So I was in the hospital the second week. And thank God the videos were pre-recorded. Were sent by an automated email sequence because that saved the summit because I wasn't doing any lives from the hospital. I'm just not
right,
just wasn't.
right.
And then I had a long, long recovery period too. Turns out I lost about half my blood volumes. Turns out when you lose that much blood, it takes a really long time to get yourself back to like not just having to sleep all day and stuff. Like it takes a long
Yeah,
time to get going again. So automation absolutely has its place, but that summit I didn't really have the level of engagement with the audience because the first week I was able to do lives, but the second week I wasn't. And so that audience, I feel like, isn't as close to me as this audience that's coming in for this summit just because of this sort of thing that
yeah.
I'm able to reach out. So Katie
Yeah.
says, what if you cannot afford the Flowdesk premium? I'm just starting out and have limited funds. What would you say to that, Robyn?
Oh, I've got something for that too. I use another tool that I will not let go. Now I love Flowdesk down. I love Flowdesk down. And I keep Flowdesk and I also keep this other tool because they do have different features. But this particular tool has a free plan that will get you started where you can actually sell with it. It is called System IO.
Yes, yes.
System, yep, System.io. And their free plan has just enough for you to be able to sell with it.
Mhm.
And you'll be able to get yourself up into one of their paid plans. They actually just restructured their pricing, um, where their lowest tiered paid plan, they reduced the price on that.
Mhm.
So Katie, look up System IO. It's
Yep.
Systeme.io.
Drop it in the chat. Let me find it.
Oh, yay. You're
System I
amazing.
O too, but I don't use it as much. Are they,
Mm-hmm.
do they, I thought they were getting rid of email. Are they getting rid of that or are you still
No.
able to send emails through System IO?
You are still able to send emails through System IO. And so, for anybody who doesn't know, System IO is an all in one sales funnel and marketing platform. So, you can build your sales funnels, sell your products, you can sell courses, you can host webinars, you can send emails with all in one tool.
Link in the chat.
Um, Awesome. And Amanda just popped a link down in the chat. System IO is particularly powerful because if you literally are starting from zero and you do not like you're bootstrapping this thing, you can get a free Stripe account, a free PayPal, link them up to System IO. They don't require you to have a paid plan, and you can start selling something
Mhm.
to get yourself started, and then you can kind of move yourself up incrementally on the platform. And it does still sell, it does still send emails. I think what you may have seen, Amanda, is that System IO used to let you connect up like a personal Gmail account to send your emails from. They
Yep.
had to change that. So you do have to send your emails from a um, business email. So that's one of the things that you will need to get
We,
in order to send your emails to your list.
I'm going to put in another thing for that
Mm-hmm.
particularly because this is a NeoMail is a platform that you can get a business account, like your business email, and it is not very expensive at all. I want to say that there it is. That's a great place to set up your business email. You can actually get a free domain with them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I just have the email set up, and I want to say it was like $150 for the year. I mean, it
Oh,
is
okay.
super, super affordable. So NeoMail is a great place to set that up. And if you do not have a website and you want to set a website up, you can use that platform for that as well. Um,
Yeah. Yeah. Also, Namecheap.
yeah, yeah,
If NeoMail is out of your if NeoMail is out of your budget, Namecheap is also really really affordable with their like business email boxes. I think I mean, gosh, when they say cheap, it's cheap. It's cheap. And
yeah.
there is going to be some costs with setting things up. If you can't do Flowdesk, I think System can do websites, System can do funnels, System can do your emails. It can host your courses. It can host do your digital download sales. Um,
Here's
you
name.
may, oh, yay. Amanda popped that in the chat too. Um, you might need to have just a few dollars for some things that you can't really get around, like the business email box. But I always tell people, if you're starting a business, a lot of times we like to like start it in secret because we're afraid like what if like I decide I don't want to do it anymore and I quit, Or what if I launch it and I fail? I don't want anybody to see me fail. But a way that you can sort of look at it differently is like, okay, what if this works? What if
Mhm.
this works? And what if I have friends, family, Facebook connections
Yeah.
that would be willing to help me start or help me fund it? And, if you just put a post out and say, hey, listen, I'm thinking about starting whatever it is that you're going to be selling, Katie. If you just put a post out and say, hey, I'm thinking about starting this, and I want to start a fund to help me with my startup costs. If you are interested and can donate, or you know crowdfund your way up to like $100 or something like that, you can say, I'm going to be using the money for this. ChatGPT can help you craft the post.
Yeah.
But put something out there and tell people what you're planning on doing and that you're raising funds to start a business. You'd be surprised how many people throw you $10 or $20 your way. And you can just say, if you can't support me, I thank you for it. A free way to support me is to just share this post. And maybe, there's someone else in your network that would be able to support me and hit that goal.
Yeah.
Crowdfund it.
Yes, absolutely. And I want to add to that too, because when I started my business, this is what happened. I was pregnant with our oldest son. We just bought our first house. My husband was a lineman for the electrical company. He was up on a
Mm-hmm.
and it broke and he fell 35 feet.
Oh my
He
God.
completely lacerated his liver. He crushed his wrists. He was home on disability for 3 months. And we were losing $600 a month that he had been making in overtime as a lineman. And
Yeah.
I worked for a publishing company and I did not make a lot of money. And I had to somehow, I wasn't getting paid maternity leave. And if I didn't want to like have my baby and have to go back to work the next day, I had to come up with thousands of dollars because I had to come up with my salary plus his overtime that he wasn't making anymore. And I didn't know what to do. This was in 1998. So many fewer options than nowadays. Like nowadays, oh my gosh, so much easier. But what I was doing at the time, I was working for a publishing company. So I just started um, freelancing at night, getting gigs like for writing, for illustrating, stuff like that. I would work during the day and I'd come home and work at night. Another thing that I did back then, eBay was new and you had to learn to code to list on eBay. But I got library books. I taught myself how to code. I started listing things on eBay from around my house. So like that is my jam, starting a business with no money. Totally my
Mm-hmm.
how to do it. And what Robyn said is so important. Your mindset needs to be, all right, I'm starting with this free thing, but I'm investing all the money I make back into the business to get it going. And that's exactly what I did for years. For years, I did not have I had a free eBay account, did not have a store. When Facebook came out, I got a Facebook page. When Blogger came out, Blogspot, I had a blog, and that was it. Like I had my eBay store. I would write my blog. I would link to my Facebook page. I would link to my eBay listings, all completely free. I would send emails like just from my email account, blind carbon copy people. You can still do all that. It's not automated. It takes some time, but it is still totally possible to start without any money and
Yep.
to build your way up to to a business that is bringing in money. And then the more that you're able to make money, the more you're able to automate and make things a little bit easier for yourself. So you're not having to, um, be doing every single thing by hand. Like for years and years after my regular email account, I got a MailChimp account, like just the free MailChimp. And then I was able to send, I think at the time I had it linked to my website. So people would fill out the opt-in form and they would get my MailChimp thing, and that's all free. Um, Katie,
Yeah.
she's a tech newbie. And most of this stuff is old school though. Like the free stuff is
Yeah.
all old school. You know how to send an email, you know how to set up a Facebook page, you know how, a blog. If you aren't doing WordPress is a little more complicated, but if you get on Blogger, like blogger.com, all you do is say, I want a blog, and they'll give you a blog, and then you just write. Like It doesn't have to have pictures or anything, it doesn't have to be fancy. Um, and they have a theme that you can just click and it puts the theme in, so that does the design for you. So
Yeah. Yeah. And Katie, there's YouTube now.
yeah, exactly.
There's I tell you what, I taught myself WordPress from a YouTube channel that was all about WordPress. And I mean, that channel was fire. They taught me everything I know. I learned from a free YouTube channel. Took a
Yeah,
while, but I did learn it all from free on YouTube. So usually, and I know especially for System IO, and even and for Flowdesk too,
yeah.
there's a ton of free tutorials on
Mhm.
YouTube that will literally show you, okay, now click here. Okay, now click here. Okay, now you do not have to know what you're doing anymore. All you got to do is be able to watch a video, pause it, do what they said, play, pause, do what they said. Just do that over and over. Next thing by the end of it, it might be slow going, but you'll get there. And yeah,
Yeah.
like that's Oh, I
GPTs,
was just gonna say.
yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, ChatGPT, I was trying to figure out how to put a Pinterest tag into my
hmm
website so that my ads would target better. And I was
Yeah.
having so much trouble with the Pinterest directions, like they just were not clear. And I just took screenshots and put it in ChatGPT, and it was like, okay, it's over on the left. You need to click,
Yep.
you know,
Yep.
like that.
Yep. So many people forget to ask Chat GPT. And like Chat GPT will even link you to the YouTube video with the
Ah,
tutorial of the thing that you need if you ask it to. It's like a fairy godmother. Like if you literally just like, this is what I'm trying to do. Can you tell me what I need to do? It can literally save you so much time. And yeah, it's super helpful. One of the things that popped into my mind to share for those of you who can bake, Katie, I don't know if you're one of those people that can bake, but years ago, I had a friend and she wanted to start this t-shirt business. She wanted to do like custom t-shirts. And she was talking to me about it and how she needed some startup money. And I was like, you could do a bake sale. You want to do a bake sale? And she's like, oh, my mom makes really good Rice Krispie treats. And I was like, okay, well, let's do that because a box of cake mix is like what, $2 or maybe you can get from the Dollar Tree now, but
yeah,
like a box of cake mix and frosting, or to like buy the things that you need to like bake some cookies or some brownies or something and sell them for $2 a piece when the whole box was $2.
yeah.
You could really turn a little profit off a little bake sale. And yeah, it would be super simple to come away with, $100 off a bake sale, or people just bought things for you and you can tell them like, I'm doing this to support my business, and that kind of feels better than like asking
Right.
for
Love.
just donations. Here, buy these. At least they get cookies out of the deal.
One thing I did when we needed money was I would tell people if you have anything you already are going to donate to like Goodwill or whatever, leave it on your porch and I will come pick it up. And, as long as you don't mind if I go through it and anything I think I can sell, I'm going to take out and I'll take the rest of it over to the Goodwill myself. And so it was kind of like a service for people where I was driving around and picking up their donations and taking them over to the donation place for them. And then in return, I would take out anything that I felt like I could sell or fix, and then I would put it on eBay for free. My Kitty
Mm,
says I can do that. Yes, absolutely. I mean, in
mm-hmm,
fact, the whole way my business started with dolls was I was helping my grandparents clean out a closet, and they found this garbage bag that had my mother's dolls in it from the 50s, and they were all broken. And my mom is super into dolls. Like she's way more into dolls actually than I am. And she like they didn't have a lot of money. They had 6 kids, they didn't have a lot of money. So she would get one present, like for Christmas. She would have to choose, like one year she had to choose between getting a doll and getting a bathrobe. And she had to get the bathrobe because she needed the bathrobe. So these
mm-hmm,
dolls she had were really, really important to her because she didn't have a ton of toys like our kids did.
mm-hmm,
And I was trying to bid on eBay for dolls that had the parts I needed. Like her favorite doll, like half of one of its legs was missing and its eyes had fallen back in its head. And I was trying to find a doll that was broken but had that leg half I needed and the eyes. And I kept
Mm-hmm.
getting outbid. Like these dolls were selling for a crazy amount of money and they were broken. And I thought, gosh, I wonder what these are worth if I learned to fix them. And it turned out they were worth a lot of money. So I taught myself how to fix them. And but that whole like the whole business started with me going and cleaning out a closet to help my grandparents. Like it's you have to put your mind into the state that you are seeing opportunities wherever you're looking. Like
Mm-hmm.
you start looking, like everything I do ever since then, I have thought, how could I monetize this? Like whatever thing I'm doing, is there a way I can monetize it? And when you start thinking that way, you start to see all these possibilities that are just endless, like endless possibilities.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're, al-
100%.
we're almost at the hour. Robyn, I want to thank you
Yeah.
so much for being here for such a long time. I also
Oh,
just want to
welcome.
go over but Robyn's, her website's in the chat. You probably have to scroll back a little bit.
I
Robyn's
can pop it in there.
her name, yeah, put it in again. So you can
Mm-hmm.
get her free guide for email. Um, Also today on your videos, you're going to hear from me about the easy email funnel that you can do. You're going to hear from Sharon Nolan about 3 automation workflows you need to have in place before you try to add another income stream. So multiple income streams, completely possible. You don't need to listen to the people that are like, you have to have one product and that's all that you sell. You can have multiple income streams, but the thing is, you really need to get your first one working and consistently making money before you try to add a whole bunch more. And so she talks about that, and she talks about what you do need to have in place before you start adding your multiple income streams. So very, very valuable. Oops, I dropped my pen. And then Sarah Williams talks about making recurring revenue from subscription, her things, specifically subscription boxes, but also subscription. Just her advice is great for subscriptions in general because she gives you a lot of wisdom about why you want recurring revenue, why it's valuable, how it helps you keep um, your business a little bit of a less or a little less of a heavy lift because you're not having to start over every month with trying to meet your income goal again. You already have some income that's coming in, so you absolutely want to do that. And her Sarah's freebie is really valuable because it's how to build an audience from scratch. So if you're listening to all this and you're thinking, I don't have an audience, I don't know what um I don't know what to say to my audience because I don't have an audience yet. So, um, that is a great thing to pick up because she teaches you how to build that audience. And then Sharon's freebie is a quiz to help you see where you need to go next in adding multiple income streams. So Katie wants to know the best place for blogging. I honestly think the best place for blogging is wherever you're going to do it, wherever you're going to be able to handle the tech. For me, that was blogger.com. It's a Gmail, it's a Google platform. You sign in with your Google email, you pick a theme, it sets it all, like it sets everything up for you. You don't have to do any design. Um, it's very basic. They really haven't updated it since like 2012. It's very, very basic, but it's very easy. But then also like if you have a different websites have also you can just have a blog for through your website. Weebly does that. I have my website through ClickFunnels, they do that. Um, WordPress, of course, you can have a WordPress website, and WordPress has a lot of plugins where you can pretty much be running your business through WordPress. Like basically your blog can become your whole thing. But I would say the best place is just wherever you're gonna do it, wherever you're like if you know you're going to get on your website every day and that's easier for you to write your blog there, then pick that. If you don't have a website yet, Blogger is probably the best thing if you're not great at tech, but it's just where are you gonna do it? Because the thing about your blog is it's gonna be the most successful because of your marketing. So you absolutely want to come to my masterclass. I know Katie's already registered for that on the 27th at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm going to give my Wake Up Sales Masterclass. And what we are going to talk about is setting up a sales ecosystem that's bringing in your audience, converting them, nurturing them in an endless cycle so that you're not starting over all the time. This thing is set up, you set it up. Once you get it set up, you're going to start seeing it self-sustain. It's going to bring you traffic. It's going to nurture your traffic. It's going to get you sales. It's going to take your buyers and bring them up to maybe the next level of your offerings, or maybe turn them into a repeat buyer. So absolutely make sure you come to the masterclass for that. Katie says subscription boxes fascinate me. Yeah, me too. Me too. And I kind of think if you get Sarah Williams freebie, she's going to send you an offer that is exclusive only to attendees of this summit and to help you. Her thing is called Launch Your Box. And she's going to give you an offer just to help you get that started. And I think that I'm going to attend that because I have for a lot of years thought about doing a doll subscription box and just because I didn't really know how to do it, I never got around to it. But Sarah makes it really simple. So definitely check that out. As usual, the free things are you get a video and then the free things are a little button under the video and it says like link to freebie or something. And so you just click on that and you'll be taken to the place to get the freebie where you can download it. And in this case with Robyn, it's here in the chat, and I will also put it in the YouTube description for anybody who's watching the replay. It'll be in there, and you can click on it and get it there. So, do you have anything else you want to add, Robyn?
No, that was it. Just thank you so much for having me, Amanda. This was such a good conversation too, as well. I know a lot of people are going to find value as they are interested in building up businesses. Not a lot of people serve the startups, the newbies, the bootstrappers.
Yeah.
So I know that it's a definitely a valuable conversation to have, and I'm just happy to be a part of it.
Yeah, thank you. I'm so glad you were here. Robyn lives pretty near me, so you'll have to come by the house sometime and we can we can
Yeah, let's play with some dolls.
yeah, or business. We can
Absolutely.
both. It
Yeah.
really has been it's been very rewarding to me. I've had a lot of people who have started with me with doll repair and then they go on to start their own doll repair business. And or some other because I'm a top 4% Etsy seller and I'm a top eBay seller, I help people with e-commerce as well. And so it's fascinating to me to see people come in on the doll end and then come out with their own business at the other end. Like that's very, very rewarding to me. And it's always interesting the different things that people sell. Like I have a lady who her thing is violin repair. Like that's her business. And it's amazing. You really can make a business from anything that you're interested in.
That's so true. That's
And
so true. And really powerful. And I love that. I did not know that about you. So thank you for sharing that. I think, and people have a ton of different passions. Like, I'm multi-passionate. I'm a crystal, like,
yeah, Crystal,
fanatic. So
yeah,
I've got crystals all over the place. So, as you talk about different places where you could like sell physical products alongside other things that you do, you've already got my gears turning. So maybe we'll get to chat about
yeah, yeah.
that.
That's kind of my jam, turning your store into a multifaceted business. So I have my physical products, I have a lot of digital products, I have books, I have courses, I have lots of different things. So I've got money coming in lots of different ways. I have affiliate links, like I always am looking for the next way to bring in some more money and to, if possible, without me being involved in that process very much, like the least amount of involvement possible is, because once you start getting that, once you get these automations in place, once you start seeing that money come in when you wake up in the morning, when you're out, like oh my gosh, one day, my husband and I went to Costco in Mooresville, and we also went to Belk. He needed some new clothes. And so we spent the whole day shopping. We went to Belk and we shopped for him. We went out to eat. We went to Costco and did our big Costco run. And while we were out, I had over $300 in sales that were every bit of it was automated, nothing that had to be shipped. And I was so happy. I was like, oh my gosh, this is living the dream. Like just having money come in and having those things self-deliver and me not have to be involved in it was, oh my gosh, it was
Yeah.
great. That was a
Yeah. It's a bit of work to get it set up. Especially if you're new to tech and stuff, like take the time to set it up. Or if you have the budget, outsource the setup to someone
yeah,
else. But it's the
yeah,
kind of thing that, you just kind of do it one time and then it can pay you over and over like that
yeah.
while you're living your life. That's the magic.
Yeah, yeah. And once you get it, you'll want to keep doing it forever. Katie says it's her
Hmm.
retirement income after her hubby's work shut down unexpectedly. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's the same kind of situation I was in, Katie. And for me, it went from being a short-term thing to try to make it so that I could be home for like I wanted a 3-month maternity leave. And then once I was home with my baby, I didn't want to go back. I did end up having to go back because I just didn't have the money yet. I took about 18 months to replace my corporate income. But I was able, so at that time he was about 15 months old because I started when I was pregnant with him. So, you know, ever since then, he's 27 years old now. I've been home ever since then with him and then with my younger two children. Never, once I've been home, I can count on like one hand the amount of times that I've hired a babysitter. Not that there's anything wrong with having a nanny or anything, but I personally just wanted my kids right there with me. And that's what I wanted for me. And you can absolutely do that. You just have to start. I think the number one thing is start thinking of all the ways you can make money and just start everything you're doing. Oh, is there a way I could make money from this? Like all the hobbies you have, all the things you enjoy, all the things you like. And then once you've got the money coming in, as Robyn said, then you can put in the investment to automate that and get it coming in automatically. So, all right. Well, we're a little bit over. Sorry about that to go so much over the hour, but I hope everybody has really enjoyed this. I think this has been a fantastic conversation. Robyn, again, this has been really, really valuable. Thank you so much. I think the audience is going to be just obsessed with this. And everybody have a wonderful day. Oh, tomorrow is the live is at noon tomorrow. It is not at 1 because my son has a track meet that is 2 hours away and the school is not providing a bus. So I will be on early tomorrow and I'm probably only going to be on for about 30 minutes tomorrow. Um, just because of that, because I have to go and take him to this track meet. So make sure you come tomorrow though, because tomorrow we are going to talk about protecting your business legally with Amira Irfan. Oh, thank you. Good luck for him tomorrow. Yes, thank you. Amira is going to talk about the mistakes that you could make that could really affect not just your business, but your whole finances as well, and how to avoid making those mistakes. So once you've built your business, you absolutely do want to protect it. And then I am going to come on and talk about what are the next steps after this summit? You're going to get so much inspiration through the summit. And sometimes it can feel like an idea, an idea, an idea, an idea. And it's easy to get distracted by all these different things. And instead, what you want is to take your inspiration that you've gotten over the course of this week and turn that into income. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that tomorrow and the next steps after this summit to facilitate that. So everybody have a wonderful day, and I will see you tomorrow at noon Eastern Standard Time. Bye.